Hi, I'm Christopher Wellbeloved and I'm here today with the Right Honourable Tessa Jowell MP for Dulwich and West Norwood and Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport. Hi Tessa, nice to meet you. Now most people know you as an MP and a cabinet member, but I just wondered something about your background, where you went to school, your education.
I went to school in Aberdeen. I grew up in Aberdeen, having been born in London, but all my early years were spent in Aberdeen. My father was a doctor. He worked at the university there. I went to St Margaret's School for Girls, an all-girls school in Aberdeen. I was pretty happy there. I was a reasonably diligent student. I grew to love the raw weather of the east coast of Scotland, rather a surprising thing, and you know, I still find that you know, if I'm going on holiday, I crave, you know, high winds, rough weather, and that sense of there being nothing between me and the elements.
So what brought you to London?
Well, I got a job working for Lambeth Council. I was a trainee social worker, and even now, all these years later, I sometimes find myself taking a shortcut through West Norwood, and I wonder how on earth I know that this is a shortcut to Knollys Road, for instance. And of course, what I then remember is that I once used to come to a foster parent family who lived there, or something like that.
Wonderful. And how did you become involved in politics?
Really, while I was working at the Maudsley Hospital in Camberwell, I think I grew to realise that actually most of the people that I was working with, for who poverty was compounded by their mental illness, needed big solutions in their lives if they were really to have any kind of opportunity of a better kind of life. So I think that that was what fired me up to join the Labour Party and to become an activist. I got involved in elected politics by chance, by the chair of my local constituency party saying, we need a candidate for Swiss Cottage Ward, there's no chance you're going to win, why don't you stand, just to put your name on the ballot paper. And I remember saying to him, but I don't really want to, but you promise I'm not going to win. He said, I promise you're not going to win, and all the rest is history.
But so no regrets then?
Absolutely not.
What was your life like as a councillor?
Well, it had its highs and lows. In the 70s were fantastic. A Labour government, Labour council, very progressive Labour council. There seemed to be a lot of money around to do good and progressive things, and I remember, I mean, we really turned public libraries in Camden into much greater sort of focuses of the local community. I also remember, as chair of the Social Services Committee, developing what I didn't at the time realise was the first kind of lone parent New Deal programme. Young mums being taught skills that would get them jobs, the kind of jobs they can combine with bringing up their children. So workplaces combined with first-class, high-quality childcare. So it was all quite revolutionary and leading edge. And it was a great time to be involved in local politics. The 80s I didn't enjoy so much, you know, rate capping, the stand against militant, the sort of violence in the Labour Party. And I think that certainly the Labour Party in London just lost its way at that time. And there was this great divergence between the ideology of the Labour Party and what Londoners really wanted. And it took us almost 20 years to get back.
And what made you move on from being a councillor to an MP? Was it an equal thing? You got told you wouldn't have a chance to win?
No, it wasn't. Dulwich was coming up. Dulwich and West Norwood, what Dulwich as it was then, was coming up looking for a candidate. And several people said to me, because they'd known that I'd worked at the Maudsley, that I'd also worked in Lambeth, said, you should really have a go for it. This is really your kind of seat. And so I did. I did have, before that, I mean, it must have been about 13 years earlier, I did have a stint as the candidate in Ilford North. Right. I fought a by-election there, and then I stood there in the 1979 general election. The local party were fantastic, but the 3 weeks of the by-election campaign were one of the worst 3 weeks of my life.
Wonderful, thank you, Tessa.
Thank you.
In part 2, we'll talk more to Tessa about life as an MP.